Hey everyone, it's Mr. Holland again. I am making another math video, something that you can do at home, possibly if you have dominoes. I just wanted to give you another option, something else that you can do that involves some math. So I wanted to include dominoes. It's one of the centers that I have in my kindergarten classroom. There are other ways that you can use them, but I was just going to show you a couple of things that I do with them. First things first, we go over the expectations for dominoes and how we play with them, depending on what we're doing. So I might have them play one way and I might have them play another. But usually to start, it's just the putting the numbers together that are alike. So, you know, just like one of the games, and well, we're not stacking them up like this because my kids love to do it and knock them over. Well, we might do that at recess, but we're not doing that as a math center. So as a math center, we're going to just identify the numbers, connect them, you know, the traditional game way you do it, that, you know, have the kids do that. So that way they're recognizing, you know, numbers that match and things like that. But once we start adding numbers and once we start talking about how we play with numbers, putting them together, taking them apart, that's when we stop playing, you know, this type of thing. I have game math that I do with them where they will set the domino where it goes, and then they, you know, will write the numbers or show it. You know, on this, they can do it themselves. But I have them usually start by putting the dominoes on there so that they're seeing one part here and another part on the other side. But once they get the hang of it, they can make their own I use dry erase marker because I laminated this, and you can erase it and things like that. So, but if you don't have that, then you can just make something like this or like this. I found these online that I just downloaded, but you can make your own if you wanted to. But you know what you do is you can add them, which is a popular thing to do because you know you have a number on this side, number on that side, all together. What's the number? So for instance, I have an example on here, but if I'm counting this side, I tell them, because their habit is to count them all at once. I try to break them out of the habit by saying, okay, well, how many's on this side? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's write that number. You have 5, and then how many's on the other side? 3. 1, 2, 3. So those are the two numbers that we're working with. Now how many are there all together? So then you can do it two ways, but I'll show you what I prefer. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then they have 8. I tried to have them do something different though, because I do what's called shortcut counting, and it's kind of just self-coined. I don't think it's really a term, but in shortcut counting, I tell them you don't have to count all the way through. You just need to know where you start and then add more. So what number did we start with? 5. So we're going to start at 5, and then we're going to count up. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. That way it's a lot quicker to count through, and you're not spending all day going back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they often, I notice that when they go back and they try to count them all, they often make mistakes by skipping one of the dots when they do that. And when they start at 5 and then move up, or start at whatever number and move up, they're less likely to skip numbers and skip dots and count up. So, you know, for example, if I use this one, how many's on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what's on the other side? 1, 2. Okay, so let's start at 4 and add 2 more. 4, 5, 6. That way they're less likely to skip any numbers. Now, you can do the adding piece to it, or you can even use these to do some small subtraction. And in kindergarten, we try to, one of our standards is to add and subtract you know, without having to do so much like counting and showing. On numbers 0 to 5 is what we're trying to do in kindergarten. You can do it differently, you know, if you're teaching a first grader, a second grader, or, you know, even an advanced kindergartner. If you want to like add dominoes together to get bigger numbers, like what's on this side? You have 9 on this side and 3 on the other side. You want to do something like that, work with bigger numbers, fine. But for kindergarten, we're going to stay small. So you can even subtract. So you would have to tell your student to find the bigger number. So if we're just looking at this one, have your kids identify which one is more, which one has more. So they're looking and they see the one that has 4 has more. So it's like, we're going to start with the bigger number, and then we're going to take away the smaller number. So we're going to take away 2. So 4 minus 2, and we're talking about plus, minus, equal sign. So we're going to have 4 minus 2. And so what's the number going to look like? So again, start at 4, but now we're going to count back 2. 4, 3, 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. It's the same thing with another one. So if we're using this one, find the bigger number. Oh, this side has more, this side has more, or this more. Okay, so we're going to start there, and then we're going to work back. So what number are we starting with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take away how many's on this side? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to start at 5 and take away 3. We're going to count back 3, because on a number line, you would have them count backwards if you're subtracting. So 5, 4, 3, 2. That way they're not skipping, and don't get caught up in your student might start at this dot over here on the 3 side and then say 5, 4, 3. So 5 minus 3 is 3. Talk them back, check them on that and say, all right, are you sure? Let's try that again. We're starting at 5, but now we're going to count back. So we have 5 here, 4, 3, 2. Talk that out with them so that they're not stumbling over that the common error that kindergartners usually end up showing. I have a class that has 23, and a good number of them often stumble on that. So just check them on that. And then after you've done a little bit of this, you can go ahead and play the game. Have your kids play. It's like, okay, now we can play with the rest of them, and however many's in your set, whatever. Play the game. But I just wanted to give you another activity that you can do if you have dominoes at home laying around. You can check my other videos. I have an example where you're using dice, board games, and things like that. So please check that out, like and subscribe. And I'm going to be making more videos like this, so stay tuned. Bye, guys.